She became her own support long before she ever wanted to. At first, she waited. She waited for a kind word, for someone to notice how hard she was trying, for a simple, "You're doing great, keep going." But days turned into weeks, and no one came. People were wrapped up in their own lives, their own battles, their own priorities. Slowly, a painful truth began to sink in. No one was going to hold her hand through this. That realization broke her. She felt abandoned, overlooked, and just so tired of always having to be the strong one. Every time she felt weak, she desperately hoped someone else would step in, motivate her, or just understand her struggle. But silence was her only answer. She found herself at a crossroads with two choices. She could stop, wait forever for a savior who might never arrive, or she could become the very person she was waiting for. The thought felt overwhelming at first, even unfair. Why did she always have to be the one to stay strong? Why did it seem like everyone else had a support system, while she only had herself? Some nights, she cried quietly, not because life was impossible, but because the weight of it all was just so heavy to carry alone. But then, slowly, a shift began to happen inside her. She stopped asking, "Why doesn't anyone support me?" and started asking, "What do I need right now?" That simple question changed everything. It became her power. When she felt exhausted, she gave herself permission to rest, without an ounce of guilt. When fear crept in, she gently reminded herself of every battle she had already won, every storm she had already weathered. And when she failed, she met herself with patience instead of punishment. She was becoming the comforting voice she had once longed to hear from someone else. Instead of tearing herself down for her mistakes, she learned how to lift herself up. She understood that self-support isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about being honest with yourself and still choosing to move forward. It's about being able to say, "I'm really struggling right now," and not giving up anyway. Of course, there were days she doubted herself deeply. Days when motivation was just a distant memory. Days when her progress felt completely invisible. But even on those days, she showed up. Not perfectly, not confidently, just consistently. She stopped expecting others to come and save her. And with that, something surprising happened. She felt lighter, stronger, more in control of her own life. She learned how to be her own cheerleader when no one was clapping. She learned how to soothe herself when anxiety hit. She learned how to push herself gently, without the crushing pressure of comparison. Being her own support didn't make life easy, but it made her independent. She no longer waited for permission to grow or for approval to believe in her own path. She finally trusted herself enough to keep going, even when the road ahead was quiet and lonely. People around her didn't notice the change right away. There was no big, dramatic transformation for them to see, but on the inside, she was becoming unshakable. She was no longer dependent on external validation. She didn't fall apart when others ignored her. She didn't stop when encouragement was missing. She had learned how to stand firmly on her own 2 feet. Over time, she realized something incredibly important: support from others is a beautiful gift, but it is never guaranteed. Self-support, however, is always available. As long as she didn't abandon herself, she would never be truly alone. She became kinder to herself. She became more patient with her own growth, and she became proud of how far she had come. Even if no one else seemed to notice, that pride was quiet, but it was powerful. Now, when challenges appear on the horizon, she doesn't panic the way she used to. She trusts herself to handle them. She knows she might struggle, but she also knows she won't quit on herself. And that trust has changed everything. She stopped feeling weak for needing support. Instead, she felt strong for being able to give it to herself. She understood that becoming your own support, isn't about being hard or unfeeling, about being loyal to yourself. If you're listening to this and you feel alone right now, please remember this. Learning to support yourself doesn't mean you don't deserve help. It means you are strong enough to keep going even when help is missing. Be the person who checks in on you. Be the voice that encourages you. Be the reason you don't give up. Because when you become your own support, no situation can ever fully break you. And if this story connected with you, take a moment to like this video. It helps these stories reach more people who might need to hear them. And please subscribe for more stories that remind you of your strength, especially on days when you feel alone. Thank you for listening.